Hey guys, for this month I thought I'd try Flashback February. I'm going to go back and look at some of my paintings that I did of my favorite national park, Yosemite. These paintings I did probably 10 years ago. So I thought I'd share some of the techniques I've learned in the past 10 years painting watercolors. Watercolor, you want to preserve the white of the paper for snow, so you can use masking fluid. You apply it with Q-tip or a toothpick or a rubber tip applicator, anything but your good paintbrushes, because once it gets into your paintbrush you don't get the stuff out. So here I'm using wadded up paper towels to apply the masking fluid. Next thing I've learned about doing skies is to go in, drop your paint in wet and wet, and don't mess with it anymore. Otherwise you get brush strokes. Here I'm going in wet, going to be wet and wet. You can see where the masking fluid is. And the paint just goes over the top of it. Adding in some reflections. Now I'm putting in the first layer of paint on El Capitan. I used some salt on the water and the reflections down below, but it didn't work out very good. It's also tricks to using the salt. You can't put it on when the paper's too wet. These paintings that I did 10 years ago, I used wood pulp paper, whereas this is Arch 100% cotton paper. A lot of people don't like watercolor because they can't control it, but that's the part I like, is it's real spontaneous. Especially when you do wet and wet, you don't know how it's going to turn out. On the mountains here, I did wet on dry paper, so you have a little more control over it. Using the wadded up paper towel to put in Bridal Veil Falls. I'm adding the little tiny trees way on top of El Capitan and the surrounding hill. This over on this side is called the Three Brothers. Now I'm going in and adding some background trees. Landscape painting is called aerial perspective, where things in the distance are not as detailed and more blurry, and as you get closer you see more detail. These trees are actually closer, therefore they look taller. Probably shouldn't have put one right next to the waterfalls because it makes the waterfall look smaller than the trees, which is really bigger, but in the distance it looks smaller. Adding more trees. This spot's called Valley View. It's right along the Merced River. Great place to just sit there and look at the view, watch the river roll by. Here I'm adding some background, bushes in the background, foreground, middle ground. Then I went in with some white gouache to add some snow to the trees. could have masked that out, but I think sometimes it's easier just to use the white gouache. Now I'm adding a second layer, the cracks in the rocks. Now I'm going in and adding more white gouache, this time just right out of the tube, so it's a lot stronger. Add some white gouache on top of the rocks. Bring that really white snow look out. Here I go in and add some shadows. On the 10 years I've been, over 10 years I've been painting watercolors, using watercolor. Still learning, you're always learning techniques. There I'm adding some snow on the top of the mountains. So this month we'll be looking back on some of my old paintings. Thanks for watching.